Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, this is Shirley. So, till we begin, hello, everybody. Hi, Robin. How are you? Wow, you're working on that. Yeah, I can imagine that is tedious trying to get into those little nooks and crannies and get that T-shirt folded back. I can see that. I empathize with you. You need to join the gang. Get that multi-needle machine. Get that machine. You know they got the what is it called? The kitch, Skitch. I think kitch. Which is a flat bed, but it's only a 4x4. That's the newest brother embroidery machine they have out. And you're doing appliques. OMG. Hi, Joyce from Philly. How are you? Thanks for joining me tonight. Hi, Terry. How are you? Thanks for joining me tonight. And hello to everybody out here in um, Facebook land and YouTube land. And hi, Marina. How you doing? I need to get up from here and turn off a couple of these lights that are shining in my face. So let me do that right quick. Sorry about that. I normally have all that stuff done, but didn't get it done today because I don't like getting up. But anyway, my pants match, so I'm good. I said, let me put on some pants and not no crazy lounge pants just in case I have to get up. So I'm glad I did that because that light definitely was shining straight in my face. And I didn't want that to be the case. But anyway, hi Ann, hi Sheila. How are you, Sheila from Evans in Washington State? Hi. Where's Evans in Washington State? Where is it near? I lived in Kent, right out of Seattle when I lived there. So I was just curious. And how are you from Virginia? And you haven't embroidered in 2 days. What's wrong with you, girl? Please. Is something wrong with your machine, honey? It's been 2 whole days. That's a cardinal sin, child. You better fire that puppy up. What have you been doing that you haven't done it? Uh, Robin, thanks for asking. I guess Marina asked you a question. And who have I missed or have I missed anybody? Nope, haven't missed any. Oh, hi, Betty. How are you? From Philly. You're waving. And hi, Sheila. You're from Colville, Kettle Falls, east side from Kent. Okay. Okay. Hey, out there in Washington, beautiful, beautiful Washington State. It is so beautiful and green out there in Washington State and Oregon, all in that area. It is really, really beautiful out there. Thank you guys for stopping by and coming in tonight. It is, well, we got a few more minutes before I'll get started on tonight's subject. As usual, something prompted me to think about this subject, and we'll talk about it in a few minutes, but I'll tell you what it was. Hi, Mary. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. And Danielle Soulsmore. And you're going to hang in here with us for a while. Please do that. Thank you so much for stopping in. Thank you so much for subscribing today, and I do appreciate your support. So, got all the gang coming in and ready for tonight's discussion. Well, my week has been okay, semi-productive. I got some of the things done that I wanted to do, not all of it, and just acquired an an order. So ha ha, put some more pressure on me for Christmas because it's a Christmas order. So even though it's a good month, what is it, 6 weeks away, I'm not done with that project yet. I'm still working on that Christmas skirt. So it's the pressure is on. I put it that way. The pressure is on because that Robin can attest to it. That Christmas skirt is no joke. It is definitely a time consuming project, but it is fun. And we've been meeting now, I guess, 5 weeks since the 11th of October. Today is what, the 14th. So it's been a month. It's been 5 weeks, total of 5 weeks. We're not meeting next week. So we'll have a week off. Yeah, next week is Thanksgiving week. So we're not meeting next week. That'll be our Thanksgiving week. Then we come back the next week and hopefully get finished up before too long. But we will be floating into December. I know that for a fact because we only have, yeah, when we come back, it'll be the last week of November. So yeah, we'll be floating into December. Oh, what you said, Marina, the Christmas skirt is a labor of love. It is definitely a labor of love. It is. It's a labor of love. It is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful project once it's all done. And if you have the time, then it is not as bad. But if you're busy doing multiple things, as I am, as always, it gets to be a little, you get a little frazzled um, because you want to get done on time, you want to do a good job, and all of that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. So let's see, it's 8:09. I am going to go ahead and get started with tonight's subject. We have a good crowd in, and I'm sure we have people out here watching and waiting. So let me get started. Today, we're going to talk about the season of giving. And I thought about this subject because, of course, Thanksgiving is next week, and then we go right into December, which is Christmas, and everybody is rushing around getting Christmas gifts and doing all of those kinds of things, decorating, making plans for the big holiday. That's usually what people do. As far as me, my tradition was the day after Christmas, which is Black Friday. I'm not a Black Friday person. So I've been out for Black Friday shopping once in my entire life. So Black Friday is no big deal to me. My Black Friday was always spent at home with the family, whomever's there, and we would decorate the Christmas tree. We would put on the Temptation album. What is it? The Gift of Love, I believe the album is, and play it all the way through. And one of the favorite songs on there for me is "Give Love at Christmas," and play that. Drink cocoa or eggnog, preferably eggnog that's spiked, and then we would dance and sing and decorate the tree and laugh and joke and have a wonderful time, and that was the beginning of the Christmas season for us. And we did that from the time the kids were small all the way up through adulthood, including grandkids and so forth and so on. So that was a big tradition. I don't do that anymore because I'm not around the family like that, but I will be putting up a tree and probably put on my Temptation and do my thing. And Danielle, you say yes, Silent Night. That's my song. That's my jam. Got to have me some Silent Night by the Temptation. Tell me about it, child. If you don't know, I'm sorry. You need to find out. Get that Silent Night by the Temptation and listen to it. You'll fall head over heel in love with it if you're not already. But I was looking on Facebook as usual, and in one of the Facebook groups, And somebody mentioned, and I'm paraphrasing because I didn't write it down. I should have, because it's stuck in my mind, so I don't have the exact wording. But the concept was, instead of puzzling your brains out trying to come up with a gift, why don't you buy me a couple of tires, or give me a tank of gas, or bring by a bag of groceries, pay a bill, the various things that they suggested that was just everyday needs that people have, that would be as beneficial as receiving a gift where they may or may not need it or want it, or it may be something that would not have the same impact if a person is really needing some tires and trying to figure out, where in the world am I going to get tires from, and they have someone that loves them enough and can afford to buy a couple of tires or a set of tires or whatever. That would be such a wonderful gift versus going out buying a designer bag or something that they probably don't even need. Um, you never know what a person's refrigerator looks like. So a bag of grocery, with the price of grocery, like somebody was saying about Black Friday, that also another thing on Facebook I saw where it says everybody's got a big screen TV. How about having a Black Friday at the grocery store and getting some of these grocery prices down? And I agreed to that because grocery has just gone higher and higher and higher. So that's another suggestion that, somebody might appreciate a bag of grocery. Go out and get some bread and a couple of packages of some kind of meat, and some vegetables, and some fruit, and a juice and some milk, and stick it in a bag and bring it to them. And just say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or something. They may need it, may not. But I tell you, nobody's turning food down nowadays. And food is always something that somebody can use. Um, a tank of gas. You never know. Somebody might be on their last $5, and they got to get back and forth to work, and they have a few more days to go before payday, and the gas tank is sitting next to E, and they're just wishing and wondering, how in the world can I get some gas so I can get to work, get my kids to school, do whatever needs to be done. And you come by with a gas card, or even waiting till Christmas Day and give them a gas card and say, here's a gas card with enough gas on here for a month or two, or a week or two, or whatever. That may be more of a value than going out buying um, some cologne, or whatever else you might buy, because you're in the store wandering around, because I've done it. You walk in the stores, in the mall, and you go from place to place to place, and your head is spinning trying to figure out, what should I get somebody that they could use and need and like and want? And it's so much out there, but you don't really know. So you're trying to puzzle your brain to figure out what's a nice gift in a store, when the nice gift may not be something in a store. So I just wanted to point some of those things out, that maybe we can shift some of our mindset as to what gift giving looks like nowadays in this climate, because everything has gone up except the people's salaries, or whatever their income stream is. Everything is expensive. Medical bills, grocery bills, electric bill. Heaven forbid you got cable and internet, and somebody might even want to have a streaming service that they've been wanting to see some movies or something on Peacock or Paramount, or some other streaming, Netflix, whatever, but they can't afford the streaming fee. Who knows? Maybe you could purchase that streaming fee for them for a month or two. That may help them out and something that they will appreciate. Oh my goodness, I've been wanting to see this show for the longest and I just didn't have the money for it. And now I can watch it, I can binge it or whatever because I have the streaming service for a period of time. Or I have an overdue phone bill or overdue light bill. Or I need a new phone. Phones are expensive. I know that. But depending upon your income, who knows? You might be able to afford to give somebody a phone that they need. They've had their phone since 1962. I know people that have had their phones 20 years. I'm serious. They need a phone. Trust me, they need a phone. And they need to learn how to use the phone. They need somebody to show them. That's another gift. Anybody that knows technology, you would be surprised how appreciative a person is, especially an older person, would be if you are a younger person, preferably a teenager or preteen, they know this stuff backwards and forward. They could come in and program their phone or come in and show grandma or auntie or somebody how to do something on their computer. There are so many things that I want to do that I don't know how to do. People keep telling me, do TikTok and Instagram and do shorts and all that stuff. I don't really know how to do those things. I'm struggling now just to keep up with lives and channels and 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 all of the stuff that I editing stuff, all of that is something that I'm learning how to do and would love for somebody to be able to come in and help me do that kind of stuff. That would be such a wonderful gift. So you never know who's out here that needs some help to figure out how to do something. And had a person that couldn't figure out how to get the we were doing Zoom and they couldn't figure out how to get the video to show. They literally could not figure out how to get the video to show. And that was a struggle. It would have been such a gift for someone to have been able to come in and just spend some time with them and show them how to do that. We as crafters, someone else that knows how to do something. I know there's tons of videos out here and I put out videos and other people put out videos and stuff, but there are so many things that we want to know how to do that someone else knows how to do. If they could come in and show you or FaceTime with you and show you and give you that as a gift. That's the point that I'm trying to make, is just that don't always think about something that you have to buy that's in a store. I personally have to be honest, I love tangible gifts. And the reason why I love tangible gifts is because I'm sentimental. And I like to be able to say, this was given to me by such and such. However, as I've grown and gotten older and have come down in scale, I don't have a lot of room for a lot of stuff. And if it's not something that I really need, then something that's not quote unquote tangible, like jewelry or cologne or clothing or stuff like that, that's not, you know, whatever. Something else may be of more value to me or to you. You never know. Just stop and think about the people that you're wanting to give gifts to. What have conversations been like? I remember years and years and years and years and years and years ago when I married my first husband and was having a nice wedding. And um, I was a pharmaceutical rep and talking to my coworkers and stuff about the wedding and the plans and so forth and so on. And just in a casual conversation, not with any expectation, I was asked about what were the things that I needed or wanted or wished for or whatever. And I'm just talking. I'm not thinking about anybody coming up with a gift. But I mentioned that I couldn't afford the videographer. I said I'm gonna because I want really good pictures. I want beautiful pictures, so I'm gonna get a photographer. But unfortunately, I can't afford a videographer, so I'm not going to be able to do that. And I'm just talking and talking and go on. Had no idea that the person I was talking to obviously was fishing to find out what would be something that I needed as a wedding gift. Not so much go out. I did get some crystal candle holders, and I think I got a beautiful crystal bowl and stuff like that. That the typical stuff that you get for wedding gifts and stuff. And not being a first time moving out of my mom's house type person, I had a lot of stuff. So it was nice to have those beautiful things, but it wasn't something that I had to have. And lo and behold, just before the wedding, I was presented with a certificate for a videographer where my coworkers had put money together and purchased me a videographer for my wedding. That was my wedding gift from my coworkers. That was to this day, a zillion years later. I have that video, and that was something I needed and wanted and cherished. And I was so blessed and happy to get it. So you never know, there was no, they could have given me money. They could have given me towels and what sheets and stuff that we give people for their wedding gift. But they gave me something that I needed and wanted. And it was just simply by listening to what people say in general conversations. You never know what would be the best gift if you don't sit and listen to people and talk to people and just kind of get an idea. And Daniel, you said you gave two friends that are new to sewing a gift certificate for 5 sewing lessons from me. See, stuff like that. It's wonderful. And then Marina, you said I love when you surprise someone or someone surprises you with paying for other at checkout. The first time it happened to me, it left such an impression. How such a simple act was so impactful. Exactly, because you never know that somebody could be in the grocery store, and I know this happens often, and you read about it, where people go up there to the grocery to check out and they end up having to put stuff back. Well, I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get that. And you never know if it's because they can't afford it or they change their mind. Oftentimes, it's because the chick ain't looking right. When that register thing keeps going and going and going and going, and you know what you got available, what your budget is, and it's steady going and going and going, and your head is spinning. Been there. What do I not need that's on this conveyor belt? Because I'm looking at this price, and I'm looking at what's happening, and I'm looking at what's going on, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna take something off of here because I don't really need it. With the price of stuff now, when I'm out shopping, as you know, Walmart, you cannot go into Walmart and not spend $100 almost. It's just absolutely ridiculous. When I'm walking around, I'm putting stuff in the bag, in the basket, as I'm walking around, and as I'm adding stuff up in my head, because I always round stuff up to $1, $10, $5, whatever it is, I round it up. And I'm counting, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's in here I don't need? Well, I don't need this. Let me take this. I really don't need this, and I'm not out of this yet. So, and before you get up there to that register, because you already know, If I keep everything I've piled into my basket, because you see stuff and you think you need everything in the world, and you put it in there, and then you realize you get up there and you spend $175 when you came in there to get something that cost 10. And I know it happens. You can't say it doesn't, because it does. It happens. And it blows your mind. It literally blows your mind. But there are some people that are in situations occasionally where they're at that register and it's something that they really need, but they can't get it. They can't get it. And if somebody's standing up there and pays that bill, do you know what that does to that person? I mean, it brings you to tears. I've seen it, and it brings you to tears because you never know what that person was going through, and it's just a beautiful gesture. I've had I haven't had anybody that I may have had somebody pay for me at the register. I don't remember. I don't think so because I think I would have remembered that. I know I have offered to help pay for things at the register and for someone else. I've not paid a whole thing, but I know I've handed them $1 or $5 or whatever they're checking in their bag, and then okay, here's the extra dollar, $2, $3, whatever that they're short of. I've done that before, no big deal. Um, I don't know if I've had anyone pay for mine. I do know that the one thing, and I've mentioned this before, that happened to me the first time I flew first class. That was a gift. And that was 1,000 years ago, and I still remember it because it was such a wonderful gift. I had never flown first class in my life. Always wondered what it would be like, and merely for a total stranger to upgrade my ticket to first class meant a huge deal to me. And it was a gesture of thank you for a gesture of information that I gave. That's all I did was share information that the gentleman was seeking. And I just happened to know the answer and butted in, as I do, and answered the question. And the gentleman was so happy that he gifted me with a first class upgrade. It meant a lot to me, and like I said, that was a zillion years ago, and I still remember it. So those kind of things stands out. Hi, Marissa, how you doing? Happy Tuesday to you. And you said Saturday you went to lunch with two of your friends, and when we went to pay the bill, it said it was already paid. We called the manager, and he said, "Have a great evening," because the bill was paid. See how wonderful that made you feel. I don't even know if you knew who paid it. And you said that was first time ever in 66 years. I'm trying to think, have I had that happen to me? I think I have had that happen to me once where someone paid the bill. Well, I know I've had drinks bought. That I know. And I guess I've had a meal paid because I have had at a bar situation, food and drink paid for. So yeah, I've had that happen. And yes, it does feel good to have that done. Whether it was trying to be a flirt or whatever the situation was, I don't remember. I just remember having my food and drink paid for, and I was quite appreciative of that. Oh well, thank you. Put your money back in your purse and move on. It feels good when people do things like that. And it feels good when you're able to do it for someone else. So that is my message of the gift of giving and the season of giving is to just think past the going to the store or going to the mall or going online or any of those things. And I'm not trying to talk anybody out of doing any kind of shopping that they plan on doing, because you got people that are not going to be happy if they don't get a gift under the tree. And I'm one of those too. I want a gift under the tree, so I'm just being straight up and honest about it. You can't always get away from buying tangible items and gifts that you wrap and put up under the tree, because you're going to have family members and kids and loved ones and what have you that do look forward to unwrapping a gift. I'm a kid at heart. I'm like that. I look forward to unwrapping a gift every year. I want to unwrap a gift. I don't even like them in a bag, even though I do bags now because it's cheaper. But I love to unwrap gifts and get surprised and what have you. And but even you can wrap up um, something like that, like I mentioned, a gift card or a grocery card or a certificate saying two tires paid for, go get them when you need them, and you know, things like that. You know, dinner for two at your favorite restaurant. You'd be surprised how people have been wanting to go eat at a certain place, and they think about it, but they don't do it because they know that's a very extravagant place or what have you, and you have the means to be able to buy them a gift certificate to that particular restaurant and wrap it up. Don't put it in one of these little gift card envelopes and hand it to them. Make it a big deal. Make it a big deal. Put it in a box and wrap it up where they'll see it. I'm putting my personal preference out there. I love getting gifts in a box. I love it. I like tangible things, as I mentioned, and you'd be surprised how that makes a person feel. And Carol, you said in your early years of marriage, our refrigerator died and our 2 weeks of food spoiled. Our church surprised us with grocery, and you felt blessed. Yes, I've had blessings like that as well. Had some financial issues to occur, and people knew about it and sent me almost a carload of food. I mean, food kept coming and coming and coming and coming. You couldn't do anything but cry. You could not do anything but cry. I never told anybody, and we had food. It wasn't like we didn't have food, but we didn't have. We were in a financial issue, put it that way. So the food was a very, very much needed and well appreciated blessing. And I've had a car note paid for me. That was a blessing to have a car note paid. I've had my rent paid. So I'm speaking from the heart, and I'm speaking from experience over your lifetime period and some of the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows and what have you that may have happened in your life that have put you in situations where help was needed. And when that help came, how it made you feel. And more than anything, it made you feel loved. More than anything, it made you feel worthy. More than anything, it made you feel like someone cared. And those things go a long, long, long way longer than that designer bag, those shoes, boots, all of the tangible stuff material things that we accumulate and we want. I'm a woman. I still like clothes and shoes and bags and jewelry and cologne and all that. I love all that stuff. All that stuff. You can't have too many. But is it as meaningful as something that you really, really need? Again, back being crafters, can you imagine my thought? If you had a friend, a loved one, a spouse, a partner, anybody that paid enough attention to what you do in your sewing studio and gifted you with a hoop that you had been wanting for the longest, because them things ain't cheap, that you wanted a particular hoop, um, a box of threads, a bag of notions of a whole bunch of scissors and needles and rulers and clips, wonder clips and tweezers and who knows, just have a bag full of notions of good notions, rotary blades and stuff like that. And you just open up your box and you have, oh my goodness, look at this stuff. I've been wanting some of this for the longest, or needing this for the longest. You know how much that would mean to do that? Or some people have been gifted with machines. They listen. Some people have actually gotten 10 needles. It ain't been me, but you never know. Being gifted with something like that. Those things are tangible. Those things are expensive. But if you're doing the crafting and stuff, those are something that would last as far as the thought process. So the other aspect of the spirit of giving that I wanted to talk about is a more broader range. And I decided to just check on reputable charitable organizations that people may consider for Thanksgiving gift giving projects. Now, I had looked into when I decided that I wanted to talk about the season of giving and gift giving. Um, and is it possible to do some type of charity drive or donation? And I'm not eligible. Unfortunately, I don't have enough subscribers, which is also another gift of giving. Those of you that are out there that have not subscribed, that are not members, any of those things, those are wonderful, wonderful gifts of giving that I would be more than appreciative of. That's just a sideline. But I did want to do that, and I looked into it, and you have to have at least 10,000 subscribers in order to have some type of fundraising drive or something like that. And so maybe next year, who knows? But I did want to just kind of remind people of the other organizations out here that you might want to donate to, and not necessarily having to donate money. You can donate your time. Everybody wants and needs volunteers. You can donate your clothing items, your household items, your furniture, your car, um, food. There are all kinds of ways to donate without necessarily spending money if you don't have money to spend. Um, it talks about the types of donations you can do. And of course, you can do direct donations. You can do donations with stock, real estate, and personal property. And a lot of those things have tax benefits. You can donate to Goodwill, Salvation Army, Red Cross, United Way. It's so many different organizations out here that you can make a donation to. So I looked into some reputable charitable organizations that you might consider. One of them that I was not aware of the name is called Feeding America. And this is a Chicago based organization that helps supply a network of more than 200 U.S. Regional and local food banks, and just talked about food and the need for food, that this is definitely something that is important in this time of what's going on in America now, because it's so many people out here that are what they call food insecure, and so many young children going to school and they don't have enough food. And if it wasn't for the school food programs, their breakfast and their lunch, they probably would not have nutritional meals every day. And then what happens to them during vacation time and holiday time and stuff like that when they're in school? They need some help. So Feeding America, I looked it up because like I said, I wasn't familiar with the name. And it said the Feeding America story began in the late 60s when a mother visiting a local meal program suggested there should be a place where food could be stored for people to pick up rather than being thrown away. With that, food banking was born. And so they said today they are a part of a nationwide network that includes food banks, food pantries, and local meal programs. They're committed to listening to the tens of millions of people who experience food insecurity and working together to help the communities most impacted by the hunger, um, and get them ready to get food and resources that they need to thrive. And they advocate for policies that address the root causes of hunger and continue to innovate solutions that increase equitable access to nutritional food. And they have a bold aspiration for the nation, and they say that approximately 1 in 6 people turn to charitable food assistance for extra support. And that was in the year of 2022. And when people are fed, futures are nourished, and people can go from just living to truly thriving. And they have challenged the nation to find a way to provide the access to food and resources so people can thrive, and to be able to reduce the food insecurity rate down to 5% by 2030, and to cut in half the disparity of race and place as far as the food insecurity. So that's their mission and that's their statement. And that's what they do. So, food banks sponsored by Food America is a place that you might be interested in um, providing some type of donation, be it volunteer or money. Another one is United Way, which I'm sure most people are familiar with United Way and what they do. I I think I looked them up. I know I looked them up. I don't know if I printed anything out for them. I don't think I did. But United Way is a domestic needs charity that operates worldwide. And like I said, most people are familiar with United Ways. They provide support to numerous organizations to provide support and help, and be it financial, be it through whatever volunteer services that they provide. Another one is St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. We hear about that on the news all the time, especially this time of the year, where they are asking for donation and support. It is a medical charity dedicated to treating and defeating childhood cancer and other life-threatening disease. St. Jude Hospital was founded by Danny Thomas, and those of you that are old enough may remember Danny Thomas. And it says that more than 70 years ago, Danny Thomas was a struggling entertainer, and um, he had a baby on the way, and he visited a Detroit church and was so moved during the mass that he placed his last $7 in the collection plate. When he realized what he had done, he prayed for a way to pay the looming hospital bills. The next day, he was offered a small part that would pay 10 times the amount of what he had given to the church. And he had realized that he did experience the power of prayer. And he went on to become famous and a very prominent entertainer. I'm very much aware of him being on TV, and I think he was on Daddy. What was the thing? Make room for Daddy, and the Danny Thomas Show, and I remember him as well as his daughter Marlo Thomas. And when he got to the point where his life was turning a corner, he returned to the church and he prayed to St. Jude Thaddeus, the patron saint of hopeless causes. And he asked the saint to help him find his way through life. And if he did, he would build him a shrine. And with that being said, as he moved on in his career and became more famous and more prominent, he decided to act on his promise that he had made. And with that, he got with some other people, some other donors, and they built St. Jude Hospital. And it was the first fully integrated hospital in the South because St. Jude Hospital is in Memphis. And they have it highlighted with first fully integrated hospital in the South. Now, this was in the early 50s when this hospital was built. So I can relate to that very well because I grew up in the South and hospitals were not integrated. And those that were integrated were limited with integration. You didn't go to the hospital and be admitted and stay in the hospital unless you were next to being dead, and you were, of color. So you had to go to a black hospital in my area. And if they didn't have one, then it had to be an emergency situation or you were treated and exited. You just did not stay. Um, I had my youngest child in a hospital and it was in and out. It was no staying. It was no anything. Have the baby, get your baby and get out. And that was the experience. So for St. Jude back in the 50s to be the first fully integrated hospital in the South was a very big deal. And it is still very active now. And it is a research center for children of the world, regardless of race, religion, or financial status. And the thing that is most important about St. Jude Hospital is that families don't have to worry about a bill. They never receive a bill from St. Jude Hospital for treatment, travel, housing, or food. Um, all they have to do is worry about helping their child to live. So St. Jude Hospital is something that is near and dear to my heart because it is located in the South. I've been to St. Jude Hospital. I know where it is in Memphis, and being a nurse, I'm aware of what they do. It's a wonderful hospital to be able to provide that kind of service. Now, I know that the Ronald McDonald House, and I didn't look them up. I just remember from what I've learned about them in the past. They also provide, they don't pay hospital bills, but they do provide housing for families that they have children in the hospital so they can stay and be near their children. But St. Jude pays for everything, so it is something to think about. Also, Shriners Hospital, and I was trying to think of the name of it so I could look it up, but it just popped in my head. Shriner Hospital is another hospital, charitable organization for children. So St. Jude and Shriner are for the need of children. And at this particular point, it stands out a lot to me because a very, very dear friend of mine, my play daughter, I just found out that her youngest child has just been diagnosed with leukemia, and I know that they are uh, devastated with that diagnosis. and they are working hard to do everything they can for her. So just the mere thought of having a sick child is something that I know is very, very scary. And um, it worries you. And the last thing you need to do is to be worrying about where I'm going to stay and how I'm going to pay for my food and those kinds of things, because you need to concentrate completely and solely on taking care of your child. Now, the other three that well, actually, it's four. Salvation Army, we're all aware of them. This organization provides a range of domestic needs services, including disaster relief and rehabilitation. And we all see the Salvation Army bell, um, kettle, red kettle with the person that always has the bell, ringing the bell and standing in front of Walmart and other grocery stores and what have you. And I try to always remember to put some money in the kettle when I see them, because I know that they do help people. They have food pantries, they have employment programs, they have training programs. They accept donations of food and clothing and of course money and stuff like that. The Goodwill is another one. Goodwill is a nonprofit organization that provides job training, employment placement services, and other community-based programs. They have 2.1 million locations total, and they service members, and they service approximately 300 people per day. The local Goodwills help people overcome challenges to build skills, um, find jobs, and grow their career through the power of work. And they've been in business for over 20 years, and it's more than 150 Goodwill organizations across the U.S., Canada, and 12 other countries. They have helped people find jobs. And they also have a program for um, um, helping developmental disabilities to be able to support themselves. And that's one thing that stood out to me, because I was very aware of the fact that they did that they do help people that have disabilities, developmental disabilities, which oftentimes people like that get overlooked, and people think that they're not employable and can't learn, but they can. Oftentimes they can learn a lot, and they can be able to do things that would allow them to be self-sufficient and live alone in their own apartments and what have you. And that is something that is very good for their self-esteem and the family and everything, for them to be able to support themselves and just have as much of a normal life as possible. So don't forget about them. A lot of people don't talk about the YMCA, and that's a youth-focused organization providing fitness, camping, and educational services. And the YMCA also houses homeless men, and had a very close person that I knew that stayed at the YMCA until that person um, was able to get clean from drugs, and was homeless, and ended up getting having the opportunity to get a room at the YMCA, and had spiritual counseling to come through. And with that spiritual counseling, that person turned their life around, gave their life to Christ, got got cleaned up, and ended up getting out of course, that room, and getting their own place and becoming self-sufficient. And that was the YMCA. I did not know until at that time that the YMCA did stuff like that, but they do. So don't forget about the YMCA. Also, Habitat for Humanity International. This is a charity that helps families build and improve places to call home. Now, Jimmy Carter, bless his heart, the last I heard, he was still on hospice. He's 100 years old. He was one of our presidents. I don't remember which one, number something, 30 something. I don't know. But anyway, one of my favorite presidents. And like I said, he's 100 years old. I think he just celebrated his birthday. And he has been on hospice for several months. And last I heard, he was still alive. And they had expected him to expire a long time ago. But I brought him up because he and his wife were always very active with Habitat of America, of Habitat for Humanity International. And like I said, they help build homes, and those homes go to the people that get involved in building their own home. And I don't know if they end up having to pay for it. I think they do have to pay something, but the whole purpose of it is making affordable houses for people that could not get their own place on their own. So going through that organization helps. Um, Also, Toys for Tots for the Marines, it's sponsored by the Marines. Now, you can find Toys for Tots drop boxes in a lot of locations if you just look for them. I know my daughter, she's a manager at a storage facility, and they take Toys for Tots donations every year. They take monetary donation as well as toys, and it is something that is very, very beneficial because they do different charitable organizations comes by and picks up the toys to distribute to the children that are part of their program. So the toys are collected, and it is sponsored by the United States Marine Corps. And the toys are collected, and then close to Christmas, they are distributed among the different charitable organizations, and then the children end up having a good Christmas where they can have something under the tree. And I tell you, being a kid and not having something under the tree is not a good feeling. I've experienced that as well. And I mean, not even saying you believe in Santa Claus or you don't believe in Santa Claus or what have you, but does Santa Claus forget where I live? It's kind of like James Brown's song, Santa Goes Straight to the Ghetto. Come on now. Where is Santa? Santa can't be missing out on these poor kids that don't have. And Sa- Santa needs some help. Santa needs some financial help. So that's how it goes. We all know that Santa needs help. He can't do it all by himself anymore. It used to be many, 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 many years ago. Santa went flying through the sky and giving presents and all that kind of stuff. But Santa needs some help now. So you have to definitely do what you need to do to help Santa help these children that don't are not getting anything. And one of those ways is participating with Toys for Tots. And they want you to drop off a new toy unwrapped because they need to know how to distribute them, boy, girl, what have you. So it's an unwrapped toy that you drop in one of these one of these Toys for Tots um, places that are collecting toys. So don't forget about them as well. Um, so who else do I have? I have AmeriCares. It's an emergency response and global health organization. Also Direct Relief, an international needs charity that provides medical assistance to people around the world who have been affected by poverty, natural disasters, and civil unrest. Now, keep in mind with the war that is going on in Ukraine and the war that's going over in the Middle East with the Hamas and the Israelis. I don't get into politics, none of that kind of stuff. So don't want to even talk about that. Just mentioning it because I know a lot of these charitable organizations like United Way, Red Cross, and places like that are providing help and support to the war victims, the victims of war, the innocent people, the civilians that are being um, hurt and misplaced and what have you. And that's what they do. They provide help to disaster situation. Over in Maui, when they had the fire over in Maui, they had all of the United Ways and what have you, and the Red Cross. Do not forget the Red Cross. Again, being a nurse, thinking about the Red Cross, one of their main focuses are blood drives, and it's very important. The Red Cross mission is to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors. Their vision statement is through its strong network of volunteers, donors, and partners, is always there in times of need. We aspire to turn compassion into action so that all people affected by disaster across the country and around the world receive care, shelter, and hope. Our communities are ready and prepared for disasters. Everyone in our country has access to safe, life-saving blood and blood products. These are their mission statements. And that all members of our armed services and their families find support and comfort whenever needed. And um, the red whenever needed. And the Red Cross provide their humility, impartiality, neutrality, independence, volunteer service, unity, and universality. Now, what I know about the Red Cross over and beyond the donation of blood, and yes, I have donated blood to the Red Cross, so it is an easy thing to do. It's not something that is difficult. If you are eligible to donate, they will check you out, check your hemoglobin, all that kind of stuff to make sure you're not anemic or have any kind of issues that would prevent you from donating, to make sure that the blood is clean and proper, so they can provide the blood in the hospital. Working in the hospital, we administer blood all the time, donated blood. I've had multiple surgeries. I've only had to have a blood transfusion once, thank goodness, and I did not have any blood of my own stored, so I did have to get blood from the blood bank, and it's a blessing that the blood was there and available to have. So think about the donation of blood. Um, like I said, it's not a difficult thing to do. Don't be afraid of needles. Come on, y'all. Needles don't bite. It's just a pinch. It ain't gonna kill you. Let them get the blood and uh, and donate if you are able. If you can't donate any money or volunteer or anything like that, you can always donate. The other thing that I know personally about the Red Cross is with armed services. That's basically what got them started. Was nurses taking care of military personnel that were injured and needed help, and providing services, but they provide information. Um, it's just wonderful when you have a loved one that is in the military. You can depend upon the Red Cross to help you keep contact with your loved one, especially during a war situation. I remember my oldest son uh, served in the military in the Marines. He retired from the Marines. My youngest son was also, well, they don't say was, they are former Marines. And, but my oldest son went to Desert Storm, so he was in the war. And you couldn't reach him. You don't know what's going on. So His wife at the time was able to get information about his whereabouts, about whether he was safe or not, what was going on with him, and that information was passed on to me. So we were able to have some type of information and relief, because that's a panicky time. Trust me, if you've had anybody in the military and they've been in any area of where there's fighting going on, that's scary. That is very scary because you don't know. And I knew my child was on the front line. And I knew that they were bombing and shooting and doing all kinds of things. And he's on that front line where it is. And he's in the Marines. And you know, the Marines are the first to go in. And I was like, oh my goodness, where is my baby? I don't care if they grown, Marines, whatever, that is your baby. Where is my child, and is my child safe? Not only is my child safe, I have to admit, I was like, is my child scared? Do you know how it feels to be a mom and all you want to do is keep your kids safe and unafraid and hug them and let them know it's going to be okay? You want to do that when they grown too. It doesn't matter. You don't care if they're 6 feet two. You still want to, and I'm 5'2". You want to hug them and say it's going to be okay. That you are still, you're safe. Mom's here. The heck I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do what I can. Trust and believe me, you ain't gonna mess with my baby until you mess with me. That's just the way it goes. Just like Ann said, yes, they are still our babies, and they are. So, with the Red Cross being there to help you know at least your child is okay, that was such a relief for me to have that information when he had gone dark. That was the thing. He had gone dark. He had to go dark because he's out there. We don't know. We can't contact. He can't call. No letters are coming. He's gone dark. Where is my child? Is he okay? That's all you want to know. And they were able to provide information for us. So with that Red Cross, yes, they do more than just collect blood. And as you know, if you listen to any of the news and you see all of the disasters that's going on, you know that that your that the Red Cross is usually the first line of people that are there helping with the relief, helping people get water and food and shelter and clothes. If somebody's house burns down, the Red Cross is there to find them some place to stay. And I mean, it's just amazing. So with that being said, there are organizations out there that need our support, and that's part of what I see as a season of giving. And I wanted to dedicate this particular live to talk about that because it is coming up to the giving season, and just to remind people that we have so many options out here of doing good for people and giving people something that is really needed and necessary and helpful over and above going into the mall or going online or going wherever and buying something that is going to accumulate in a storage bin somewhere and never you know get the full usage of what the intent was, because it wasn't something that that person really needed. um, so hopefully I have not offended anybody. Hopefully I have opened up a few thought processes and like, wow, that's pretty cool. I hadn't really thought about that. Goes back to my first part of the conversation about dropping off a bag of groceries to somebody or filling up somebody's gas tank or um, you know, buying them some tires if they need some tires, or, just kind of, and people don't like to tell you what they really need. People really, well, I'm okay, I don't need anything, I'm fine. I'm okay, I don't need anything, I'm fine. When they really aren't. Nobody really wants to be uh, telling all their business, basically, or even asking for help when they really need help. It's hard. Been there. It's hard to ask for help. It really is, because you have your pride, which you shouldn't have, but you have your I can't think of another word, but you don't want people to know that you might need help. You just really don't want people to know that. But just keep in mind, people need help. Don't think nowadays, with the price of everything, people out here need help. Our family members, I guarantee you, each and every one of us have people in our family that would appreciate something, a bill paid, a certificate for a streaming, or a, a, a gift card to go out to take them out to breakfast. When the last time you went by and picked somebody up and took them out to breakfast? People think about dinner and lunch and stuff, but somebody might really want to go out and have a nice breakfast. They haven't been out in a long time. And just to come by and take them out to what, Bob Evans, or Cracker Barrel, or some of these other, you know, expectation, some of these breakfast places, and just have a nice breakfast or brunch. Spend some time with them. Um, I remember years ago, before my grandmother passed, and I didn't appreciate it until I got grown and had kids, and what have you, and life had started lifing, and you start understanding some things in life that you didn't understand when you were a young woman, and out there in the wild trying to figure stuff out. Now you have children, so you have to be a little bit more mature. And I remember just sitting and having a conversation with my grandmother. Felt good. Felt good. My husband's great aunt was like a mother to me. And I truly enjoyed, and she did, just time together. Just time. Sitting, talking, conversation. Those are memories. Those were very cherished moments. Time. Can you give somebody some time? You'd be surprised how important that would be, just to have time to sit and have a conversation with someone that you haven't talked to in a long time, or someone that is special in your life, and you just make the assumption that they're okay because they haven't called you, they haven't asked you for anything, they seem to have it all together, and you just make the assumption that everything is okay, and you don't check on them, and you'd be surprised how important it would be, or how well it would make them feel, just to have a conversation, and not just on the phone conversation. If it's possible, go see that person and have that one-to-one face time with them. I think that that would be so wonderful to do that. Um, Carol said it was good to hear more details on charities and what they all do. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. I do appreciate the fact that you're appreciating it, because I felt, I don't know what it was, when I saw that Facebook comment. It just kind of did something to me, and I started thinking about how we don't always give what people need. and how important it is to be able to do that. Hi Becky, how are you? Um, you had a birthday supper for your twin grandkids that turned. See, she had supper with her twin grandchildren, and they're grown. They're 28 years old. She's gonna remember that, and they will too. 10, 15 years from now, if they're still here, if she's still here, they're going to remember that they had their 28th birthday with their granny. They're going to remember that. I remember that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure that my grandson is on there. Hey, dear, how you doing? And my daughter's on here. And I remember stuff. My grandson is grown with a child. But I remember so much of the get together stuff that we did when he was a little boy. That stuff is still something that I cherish. I laugh about it, how we did this and we did that, and the little things that we did. Those things are important. People want to spend time with you. They want to have a relationship with you. Those things, again, are more important than stuff that you can buy. So that's my soap opera. I'm not going to beat that horse to death anymore. Because I think I got the message across. A lot of people have responded saying that they understand that. And Danielle, you said, oh, then you said goodbye because you got a 4 o'clock wake up call. That was a few minutes ago. So I missed you, Danielle, but thank you for stopping by whenever you get a chance to hear this, and hope that you'll come back again. And I know Ann, who left? Was it Robin? I think Robin left as well because she gets up early too. I think that was Robin. I might be wrong. Sorry about that. And hi Tisha, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. And who else came in? Becky, you said you forgot to stop. I guess you were talking to somebody else. So my we had mentioned earlier a little bit talking about this project that we're working on. Oh, you're still there. Okay, good, Robin. I didn't know if you had left or not. I thought somebody left. Maybe it was Becky. And I didn't get a chance to say good night because I think she leaves too. But I don't know whoever left. And Sheila, oh yeah, I did talk to you. I think I spoke to everybody that's showing up on my feed here. And again, like I said, I do appreciate those people that are out there in Facebook land and YouTube land, and those people that watch the live after it's no longer live, the replay. I appreciate all of the support that you guys provide to me, and I do thank you for that. That's a gift to me. I do want you all to know that because I enjoy the platform. I enjoy the live stream. I'm making friends, and that's good because it's just me. It's just me. My friends don't even live over here. My friends are way away from me. My girlfriends and stuff that I hung out with and everything before I moved out this way, they're still there and I'm still here. So I really don't have girlfriends and stuff like that I hang out with, which is kind of sad because I miss that because I'm a social butterfly. I don't know if you guys figured it out yet or not, but I love going and doing and being and meeting people and talking, and I don't meet strangers and all that kind of stuff. And some of you have met me, and I think you kind of picked that up. Somebody had mentioned when they met me, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Leslie. I'm not sure, but she said you're just like you're the same way as you are on the live. I said, "Yep, that's me. What you see is what you get." And I do like meeting people. So meeting you guys is something special to me, and I really enjoy it. So I do appreciate that, and also I do appreciate the so along that we're having, because that's a lot of fun, and we're moving quite quickly. And hi, Mary, you said that those are all wonderful charities. Don't forget churches. My church does so much of the deeds you mentioned, great opportunities to help all year long. And that is true. Churches are. I have been blessed by um, help from churches, from my church before in the past, which, like you said, is a wonderful opportunity to help people. I've worked in the church where I've gone and helped people, which gives you so much pleasure to be able to do that. You'd be surprised. Sometimes it's hard to hold back your emotions when you see someone react to what you've done for them out of the goodness of your heart, and whether it is through a charitable organization, through your church, or even in a hospital. I know working as a nurse, I used to it was difficult for me because I worked on oncology mostly when I was in the hospital. And at that time, you saw people from the time they were diagnosed with cancer to the time that they actually expired. So you got a chance to get to know them, their family, their kids, their loved ones, and what have you. And you a kind act, which was your job, and something that you wanted to do. Sometimes it meant so much to those people that when they reacted to it, it made you cry because they were so thankful for something that you felt you didn't think about because it's your job. It's just part of what you do, and the fact that you care. And but they saw it as something that was special when you provided good care and you made sure the patient was comfortable. You made sure that they had what they needed. You made sure that you answered their call light on time, and I've sat with people as much as I could, conversated with people, talked to their family, gave them information, all those kinds of things that you do that is part of your job. But the people saw it as like you're an angel or something. I've been told that, and they would react that way. And like I said, it touched you to know that you were touching them, that you were giving them something that they probably would not forget. I know there are times when me flipping the coin have been in the hospital, and I've had people do things over I saw as over and above, even though I know that's their job. It made you feel really, really good because, you know, if I just the simple act of coming and answering my light on time and then bringing me whatever it is that I needed on time made you feel good because it's like I'm not laying here in misery. Someone really cared. They answered the light. I need whatever I need, and before you could turn around, good, bam, there it is, right there. They're bringing you, helping you get up, turn, medicine, whatever the situation may be, and they're right there helping you. I remember years ago, um, working in the hospital, and I got sick, and I needed my appendix ruptured on me, and I needed emergency surgery. And I had my surgery in the hospital where I worked. I was on a different floor from the floor that I assigned to. I was on a different floor. And two of the nursing assistants that worked with me. I was like, I'm the RN, so I'm the team leader of our team, and these two nurses would work on my team most of the time. And I'm downstairs. I was worked on the sixth floor, and I think I'm down on the fourth floor, something like that. I know I'm downstairs. But both of them came down one day to make sure that I had gotten the hygiene that I needed. They came down. They helped me up out the bed. They helped me to bathe and everything that I needed to do. Got my gown changed. They didn't have to do that because it was people on the floor where I was that was supposed to do that. That was their job. But these two young ladies came down on their break to come down and make sure that I was okay. That was in the 80s. I have never forgotten that. I know their name. I never forgot that because I thought that that was so special that they cared enough about me as a person, not their team leader or I wasn't their boss, but I had authority over them. Not that person. I'm a person. And they came down there and they provided that service for me. That was a gift. That was touching. I never forgot that. So you never know what you can do for somebody that touches them, that is way more important or way more um, they have more feelings and understanding than like I said, going to the store buying something. And you were saying, yes, your church gives and gives to so many ministries, and they do. I love the different ministries that the churches have, and the people that really do care when they are participating in these ministries, and when they go out into the communities to help people. And I know, we have drives, and this time of the year, people are always collecting food, always collecting food. And you know what I have found? I don't know. Maybe they do that, but just go out. Who was that? Was it the scout? Somebody used to come by and leave a bag, and then they would come back the next week to pick the bag up. They would leave a bag on your doorknob, and they wanted you to donate food, non-perishable food. And they would come back a week later and pick the bag. All you had to do was fill it up and leave it out on your porch or your stoop or whatever. And they would come and pick it up. I don't know if people do that anymore because I can't remember doing that in a minute. But I remember that used to be something that happened every year. But I don't remember who did that. Maybe it was just in Missouri. But I do remember that happening. And I know with all the crime and stuff that's going on now, you can't hardly do stuff. You can't hardly do stuff like that. It's just sad, and it's just a shame that there's so much crime going on that we have to be so careful, and that people have to be so skeptical and cautious and mindful. That's the other thing I want to point out. When you're doing your gift giving to charities and stuff, make sure that you know the charities that you're giving to. Make sure you research the charities that you're interested in giving to. Make sure that they're reputable. Make sure that the money, if you give money, or even whatever you give, that at least 90% of that goes towards the um, people that need it. Because they do have to have they have administrative costs, so they have to keep some of it. But at least 90% of that money that they collect needs to go to the people that you're wanting to help. So do your research and be careful how you donate if you're donating money as far as online and stuff like that. Be extremely careful. I was talking to my girlfriend tonight, and she was talking about how people are scamming so bad because she got scammed for a lot of money through Cash App last year. And I know my son, somebody was trying to scam him on his Amazon account. I know me personally, I've not had anybody try to scam me monetarily so far, but had people make contact with me and try to do some scamming stuff and, uh, you know, encourage you to call this person or encourage you to get involved in this scheme and that scheme and so forth, and pretending like there's somebody that you know when it is not. So be careful with that. If you get a message from someone that you know, but the message sounds odd, pass. If they're claiming that they have hit the jackpot and this is how they did it and you need to go do it too and stuff, mm, mm, if you have any way of contacting that person for real, I suggest you do that because I've had at least 3 or 4 people pretending to be people that I know. And I knew instantly when I got the messages it wasn't them. And then you need to check that out. And that's exactly what I did. Ask them a question that you know nobody knows the answer to it but the person that you actually know. Check and see if this is really the person, especially if you don't have their phone number or something, and you can't call them or text them, but they're getting in touch with you through Facebook. Because I have some friends and stuff that I don't have their phone number, and we just chit chat and stuff on Facebook and stuff. So it wouldn't be unusual for me not to be able to call them. But if you are truly my friend or acquaintance or somebody I know, it has to be something between the two of us that we know that a scammer won't know. So you need to just pose that question like, okay, how do I know you? Where did I meet you? When did I meet you? And how long have I known you? And all of those kind, just ask them something that they have to be the real person to be able to answer that question before you. I know when I had my phone number changed, I'm trying to get in touch with people to give my phone my new number, and they ain't buying it. They not buying it. Trust and believe me. Like, how do I know you? Who are you? I was cracking up, and I was like, I know exactly why you're doing it because I don't blame you. But they were on me, honey. They was like, you ain't finna scam me. You talking about you somebody, and here's my new number now. I need to know who you are for real. I thought that was so funny and so cute, but I knew why they were doing it because you have to be careful nowadays. You just have to be careful. And Tisha, you said they still do that in your area in Virginia, put those bags out and stuff. So I don't remember if when I was living in Virginia if I had that done, but I know it was in Missouri. But yeah, they used to do it every year in um, in Missouri, where you would get the bag, put stuff in, and they come back and pick it up. But like I said, nowadays you just have to be careful, very, very, very careful. And ladies, I see this message that goes out every year this time about walking alone and where you park. Don't park between vans. Have your key out ready to unlock your door, push your button or whatever, however you get in and out of your car. When you're walking towards your car, try to look up under your car before you get to your car. Don't be loading and unloading and all of that kind of stuff if by yourself if you can help it, because people come up behind you. Make sure your purse is secure. People come run by and snatch your purse. Don't be sitting in your car with your door unlocked. When you get in your car, crank up and go. Don't sit there and get on your phone and this, that, and the other and stuff. Do not put yourself in a position to be carjacked, hijacked, snatched, because all of that stupidity is going on. I saw a video on Facebook where, and people have already said, when you're out getting gas and you've left your purse on the doggone passenger side, and the people will sneak up and try to snatch your purse out the car. Don't do that. Put your purse on the floor, have your keys, lock your car while you're filling it up with gas. Don't leave your car door open, unlocked while you're filling gas. Lock your car. So if somebody try to slip in and snatch your purse or whatever while you busy putting gas in the car, they can't get in the car. So lock that car. This particular video, somebody pulled up and was reaching over they had got out the car and was trying to snatch the purse out, and the lady started flooding them with the gas hose. She shot gas all up in their car, all on the people. That was funny. They got their behind out of there, and I'm so glad. Apparently nobody was smoking, because they would have been smoked. But she got rid of them. She got rid of them. But yeah, I don't recommend that. I'm just saying that was on the video and it tickled me when I saw it. But you got to be careful with that, especially when you're out by yourself at night and even in the daytime, because these people are brazen. They will do all kinds of crazy stuff now. But you just have to be mindful of your surroundings. If at all possible, don't be out at night by yourself. Don't do that. If you can avoid it, don't do it, because it is not safe. The other thing that I've seen that really irritates me to no end is when I'm driving around in the daytime and I see these young ladies out walking and jogging by themselves. I don't like it. I don't like it. It scares me because these people get snatched every day, especially a young, cute kid. Mm-mm. And you got a wooded area. They're on the sidewalk, but you got the wooded area that's right there. Mm-mm. Do not do that. Don't be out here running and got your earbuds in, and you out here doing your little walking, your jogging, or whatever you're doing by yourself. Don't do that. That's not safe. That's not safe. Even the older people, because people will try to do stuff to you. I had that happen to me. I was in Virginia. It was this time of the year, so it got dark early. And when I get home from work, when I used to come home from work, I would get home around 6. So it's dark. And I had my dog at the time. So sometimes, I didn't do it all the time, but sometimes I would go park, get my dog, and walk her when I went to check my mail. And that would be my opportunity to get her out of the house and walk her and stuff and what have you. So this particular evening, and it had to be around 6 because I don't be out at night. And I had just left the mailbox and I was heading back to my apartment, and I was alone with my dog. It wasn't like pitch black dark. So it was kind of what they call dusk. And this young girl looked like she was about 15 or so. She might have been older or younger. Came up to me and said some craziness about she was scared. And would I walk her back to the streets? Because I had come off the whatever that street was, Jeff Davis, I believe it was. I had just turned off at Jeff Davis in Virginia's in Woodbridge and turned up into my apartment complex. Like I said, I parked, then I walked down to the mailbox and was going back to my apartment. And so she wanted me to walk her back down to Jeff Davis because she was scared. And I couldn't, it didn't make sense. I don't know you. I ain't walking you no. And I didn't. I looked at the girl like she had lost her mind. And she said something else to me, but she was trying her best to get me to go back out of the apartment complex area to that street. And I don't know this for a 100% fact, but I felt that that was a ruse to get me out there and get me jacked. Put me in a car, make me go to the ATM or some stupidity mess like that. I don't know. But I didn't walk her back. I'm so sorry, honey girl. Yeah, you a young chick, but I ain't finna walk you nowhere because I don't know you. And even if I did know you, what the heck am I supposed to do to walk you? How am I supposed to be support for you? Who gonna support me to walk me back? No, we ain't playing that game. But it was just, I thought about that and I still think about that. How things like that happen. Things like that happen if you're not alert and don't pay attention and don't, oh my goodness, this young girl, she's out here all alone and she's scared, let me help her. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Something was dead wrong with that picture. That's all I can say. Something, in my opinion, was dead wrong with that picture. So I didn't do it. And I didn't hear anything else from her. I didn't see her anymore because I didn't look. I made it back to my apartment as quickly as I could. Got myself in that door and locked that door and bolted it, and that was the end of that conversation. Because I'm like, mm-mm, I don't. I did not trust that situation, and I do truly believe that it was a ruse. I to this day believe it was a ruse where they were trying to get me. Don't know why. I guess I was just, you pick whomever you see and see what you can do. But that was pretty much it. So that's all I have for you guys today, and hopefully it wasn't boring you too much. But I just thought that this was an excellent time to talk about it since, again, it's the beginning of the giving season. And all of us are trying to figure out what we're going to do for Christmas and what we're going to get and what we're going to buy and all of those kinds of things. And uh, think about what's out there and what's available that is not a tangible gift that you get out the store. That is something that you can give, and not just the charities. The charities are wonderful. The charities are always going to be here. They're here all year long. So do donate to these wonderful charities because they do provide good services, and there are so many people out here that need it. There's so many homeless families that need help. It's not like it used to be years ago when people thought that homeless people were drug addicts and drunks and bums, as people used to call them and stuff like that. That's not always the case. Now you have homeless families. You literally have women with children that are homeless and have nowhere to stay, and they are staying outside somewhere trying to survive. Kids are trying to go to school still and living in their cars with their moms and stuff like that. So it is so much homelessness out here. So do not negate the need to help these charities to help take care of the homeless people. Hopefully one day we won't have homelessness. I don't know if that's going to ever be the case. I was appalled and shocked when I found out about homelessness because I didn't know about people being homeless growing up in the South, because nobody in the South was homeless. Because if Big Mama had a house, a roof over her head, you had a place to stay. Even if you had to sleep on the couch, sleep on the floor, sleep in a chair, whatever the situation was, you were not going to be outdoors homeless. So I didn't understand homeless until I left the South and came to the city and I saw homeless people. And it shocked me because I was like, they ain't got no family. That's all I could say was, these people don't have any family. They don't have nobody. Because that was the way I was raised. Everybody came and stayed at our house at least for a minute. We had to revolving door. So it was just odd to me. Um, I couldn't understand why people were homeless. I was that naive. I was that naive. I could not understand why people were homeless. And now I know and understand why that happens, unfortunately, because crap happens. It's not always their fault. It is not always our fault that people are homeless. So they do need our help. However, we can help them. And we do need to help people that need whatever. So, Robin, you said it's a good topic. Thank you so much. I do appreciate the fact that you're appreciating it. And, I guess God just put this on my heart this week because I thought about it. I said, "Oh my goodness, what am I going to talk about tonight?" And then it just came up on me to talk about giving and a new way of giving, just some thoughts. Put it that way, just some thoughts of giving. So I see a lot of people are uh, saying goodnight and leaving, which I understand. So I think I'm going to go ahead and log off unless somebody has anything else that they want to add or say or a question of any kind. I know tomorrow night is our so along, and I don't know who, if anyone has completed their project. I don't know. It's not me. But I have sewn my first panel, and I'm going to show it to you. One of them, anyway. This is kind of what we're doing. We're putting this little gadget here together. So I got one of my panels ready, and I got 14 more to go. Then you got to put them all together. Thank you for the thoughts. Have a great rest of the week. Good night, Marissa. Um, I know one thing. Those of you that are in the group in the so long that are still on here, what I'm finding out, getting those doggone seams to match up is not an easy task. I'm here to tell you, uh, unless it's just me. Now I know Marina, you got your stuff, and I don't know if you're still on here. You've done your panels, and um, if you got all your seams matching up perfectly, then you're pretty good. Cause I've done 2 panels, and each one of my panels, I have at least one that is like one stitch off. And I took it loose and tried it again. I can't figure out why that's the case. Uh, Marissa, you said that's really nice. I can't wait to see the finished skirt. And Robin, I haven't seen anything. I haven't sewn anything since last week. Today was my first day, Robin. I hadn't sewn anything. I hadn't touched it until actually about an hour before getting on. I hadn't even touched anything. I cut everything out last week, and I didn't do anything else this week because I was doing other stuff. But I I do realize that it's difficult to get those seams together. I know that. I tried. I took it loose, did it again. I was like, I tell you what, I'm not gonna be sitting up here taking all these things loose. Now I pinned it the way Becky Thomas from Power Tools with Thread said to pin it, and did all of that kind of stuff and stuck it up under there. And the one thing I am very, 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 very thankful for that I use a colored thread to do all of my lining and all of that kind of stuff like that, because sewing between those two threads, if I didn't have that colored thread, it would be as crooked as all get out, because I tell you, these eyeballs right here, they ain't working that well. Marissa, I need to start one now. Next. Well, we have said that if we do another sew along, Christmas sew along type situation, we probably will do some more sew alongs. At least I hope we will. But if we're going to do something that is as intense as this one, we're going to have to start in July because we started in October and we will be in December getting done. It takes a minute. Trust and believe me, it does take a minute, but it's fun, and the sew along is fun. So next time we have a sew along, I hope you join us, Marissa. I really do. Any and all of you that did not join for the sew along, since I'm doing it on Zoom now, I don't have a restriction, and so if we do another sew along, I hope if you guys are interested that you will join us, because I we're having fun. It's nice and it's motivating. That's the thing. It's motivating. And Robin, you say you can always pick the threads out that show between the seams. Yeah, you can, but I haven't had that issue. Mine is getting the seams together on the side where you pin it together and it's supposed to be perfect. Well, it's perfect in every spot except for one on each of the panel, and it's like one stitch off, one stitch, and it's like I got it pinned correctly. I got it pinned, and you still one stitch off. I'm not gonna be taking this stuff out every time I stitch it together. I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say good night to everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing those of you that are in the so long tomorrow night, if it's the Lord's will, and see where we are. Hopefully, everybody is moving forward and getting close to being done. I know there's a few of us that are right at that door, right at that door getting done. I'm not there yet, but I'm heading in that direction. So with that being said, I will say good night to everybody. Thank you guys for stopping in. Hope to see you soon. And put comments out. Give me some thumbs up. I need all the thumbs up. Don't forget that. I always forget to ask for it. But give me thumbs up, please. Appreciate it. Those of you that are watching the replay, thumbs up, please. They're very important to the channel. Subscriptions are very important to the channel. I would like to be able to pick up my membership. I got a few members, but I'd like to have more. Appreciate if you guys think about doing that membership. It would be so helpful. But until next week, you guys take care. Have a wonderful week, and may God bless everybody. Good night.